So tell me a little bit about this one before you start playing it.
This was the last song written for the album.
Really?
And we didn't know if it would even make it. Because for anybody that doesn't know, releasing an album even in 2018 where you can kind of do it yourself, there's still lots of legal stuff if you're doing it right, with copyright and publishing. And in our case, where a lot of songs are getting used in multiple things, like when a song gets used, TV, film, our album, it has to be retitled for all these different things because different publishers are collecting different money.
Yeah.
So there's a lot that goes into it. In addition to having the press ready for, your press release saying the album's coming out and doing whatever you're doing to promote it, and assembling concerts, which you were gracious enough to open, the best one, thank you. So this song was written 9 days before the deadline for the album to be in.
Wow.
And then recorded 6 days before, and then mixed 2 days before.
Amazing.
It just came out of nowhere, and it's turned out to be my favorite song I've ever written. So this is called Mirror Mirror.
I like the cadence of the song. Yeah.
So I'm in here beatboxing. Like
really?
The sound, the toms, that's me. The song started with me, I just heard a beat in my head, don't know where it came from, and I grabbed my phone and I beatboxed it into the phone. Took the phone, plugged it into this, and then pulled it up on the grid, and then we went in and re-triggered like what was going to be a kick drum with Dave actually doing a kick drum, and the snare being a snare. But then we left in all my fills. It's my voice making those tom sounds.
Oh.
So I'd written some lyrics, and I thought, well, if I'm beatboxing, this can't be a serious song. So I wrote very funny lyrics. This was really in my wheelhouse of kind of punchline lyric.
Yeah.
Liz heard it, and she goes, yeah, no, that doesn't work. And so she started singing it completely serious and rewrote a bunch of words, which at first I'm like, oh, come on, these are great. And then I heard her version went, yeah, these aren't great. Yours are great. Mine are stupid. This is awesome.
That's really interesting to hear because, the lyrics of the song now are direct contrast to something light and funny. I mean, not as necessarily a dark song, but it's definitely a deep and emotional song.
It is, and I think that her twist on self-examination, that it is a good thing. That you do need to look at yourself and make sure that you're behaving in a way that benefits the world. But ultimately, sometimes you get so far into your own head that all you're doing is self-analyzing. And when you do that, you never see the good. Nobody self-analyzes that much and thinks, I'm great. It gets to the point where you need to see yourself from someone else's point of view and see that, you actually are a positive force on the planet. People do like you, and you can't focus on your failures. You also need to, learn from them, certainly, but focus on your wins and the things that make your life great.
Yeah, I think that's a great philosophy.
And also, everyone is so obsessed with vanity that having something that says, I gotta quit looking in the mirror, I think that's something too. So I love what she did to it.
Yeah, and I think especially social media and everything nowadays, everybody's so concerned about that. It's definitely a good representation of what's happening now.
And this also speaks to how the tone of a singer can have so much to do with the way a song ultimately turns out. One of the first lines in it is, I feel like an untucked shirt on a walk of shame, which she sings completely serious, and it has a very serious payoff, but that's one of my original lines from when the song was a joke. And it was very funny how I had it, and she has it instead of this very poignant kind of visual reference.
Yeah.
This is why I love being a co-writer. Left to my own device, I have a song, it's like, okay, I really like it, but having her and Brock Toon and Michael Andrews' input, it's something that I completely love.
Yeah, another thing I like about it too is, it just evokes the whole concept of the album to me.
Don't overthink.
Type feeling.
Yeah, and the title I had before we even started anything, because we thought, okay, Mirror Mirror, there's a twist in the fairy tale title.
Which ironically, it's a Snow White theme instead of an Alice in Wonderland theme. But.
Well, we're not particular about which fairy tale we rip off.